Cham, Boyata, Tierney, they were all training this morning. Are any of them likely to be...
KT wasn't training with the group.
Right, okay.
He was training on his own. So Cham trained, Boyata trained. Boyata's probably closer than Olivier because Olivier's been out for longer. But we'll see how they react after the training. But it's their first training with the group.
The guys who went off yesterday, Edouard,
Edouard, bad knock. See how he feels now. But it's a sore one, so it'd be doubt for the game. Lustig, again, see how he reacts. Achilles issue. I think he'd be also a doubt, but we'll see how he does.
Forrest
is having a scan on his hamstring. Again, it was nothing we hoped too severe. He felt it after the goal. And I think did the right thing in terms of identifying it when he could have maybe played on and potentially made it worse. So he did the right thing, knowing his body, and spoke to the manager and the physio and came off. So, but we have to wait and see on that one. I think he's going to be out for a period of time, but hopefully not too long.
So that is half a team essentially you could be missing. Do you feel you've still got the strength and depth to cope?
Yeah, absolutely. We showed that in the game itself, and we can put a team out that's going to be a good team, a very good team of quality players, and we'll be able to cope, no problem.
And Chris Ayers suspended.
Yeah.
So is there a bit of rejigging to be done? I mean, Beaton's back. Could he play centre half?
Beaton can play centre half. We've got Jack Hendry. We've got Dedrick training today. So we have to look at everything. Look at our options, look at what system we want to play, look at what players are available and make a decision. But I think obviously on the back of that game, we have to assess it over the next 24 hours and then make a decision tomorrow on the exact team.
Situations like this are why you have a big squad, but is this as stretched as you can recall since you came here?
Yeah, it's as stretched as it's been. As I said, I think I look through, we've got a pretty good team of injuries and suspensions, 4-4-2. You can probably fit them all in at the moment, but they're coming back. We've got a few coming back. We've got some of the guys that are close to coming back. Obviously Kieran's building up his rehab steadily. And there's a few others that are getting closer. So that is part of football. I think it's rare to have this many injuries. But we have got a depth of squad. The manager said that it's very important, so we've got that.
Looking at the game Wednesday night, then Hibs, would you?
Hibs, difficult game. They've always been a difficult opponent for us. Home and away, speed, intensity, some good players. So for me, that's a difficult game. But we have to just, as always, focus on ourselves, focus on our game, bring our intensity, our quality to the game, and we should get the win. But on the back of the last couple of weeks they've had, I certainly wouldn't underestimate them at all. And that's not something that we'll be doing.
This weekend has been a weekend of referee controversy.
Yeah.
Penalties given, not given, what have you. What's your thoughts on the standard of refereeing?
I think it's obvious that there's a lot of talk about referees at the moment in terms of certain decisions, and I'd like to hope that decisions that are made that are potentially mistakes, that they would review and analyse them and learn and improve from them. Look, refereeing in general up here, I think it's been widely acknowledged that if it was full time, it would be better, and they could train, be fitter, be more, I suppose, professional all round. So that there has to be a degree of sympathy for the referees in that sense. That these are guys that have got jobs and everything else like that. So being full time would certainly help. I think the manager here has mentioned the use of VAR as well. Again, that would obviously help. It's helping referees all over the world. But these things happen. We can't become obsessed with referees. We have to focus on playing well, doing our job and winning games, and that's what we'll do.
Do you feel Scottish football is obsessed with referees?
No, not at all. Not in the slightest. But I'm just saying that from our point of view, we don't want to make it something that we're too focused on, really. You get decisions sometimes that you feel are right, sometimes you feel are wrong. Hopefully over the course of a season or a period, you hope that evens itself out, if you like. But from our point of view, it's very much focusing on the performance. But I do think the referees could be helped the structures in place for them.
Can I ask you about Andrew Gutman's situation? His loan's been cancelled by Nashville.
Yeah, so he'll be coming back here and then probably be going out again on loan. So obviously he's not been able to secure that loan, which is to do with the MLS. So that's okay. We just look at a different loan option for him that's going to suit Andrew.
Is that more focused on just getting his development away from the club to get him game time, or
Yeah.
is there work permit issues? Or
No, I think he was obviously brought in as a player to develop for the future, a player that needed a loan. That was straight away, with a view to signing him and putting him out on loan. So ideally it would have been Nashville. That was the first choice, but there's lots of clubs all over the world that we can look at, and the most important thing is that it's something Andrew wants to do and he feels that he can make an impact, and it's the right place for him to develop.
Is there other leagues? There are a lot of other leagues that he can go to at this point in time.
I believe so. Yeah, I mean we'll see what his situation is when he comes back in the next few days.
Chris, would you see, you've noticed any particular difference from your time in England to your time in Scotland in terms of the referees, in terms of the standards we're talking about?
I think fitness is just from being full time. The guys are obviously, they're conditioned. They train every day. I know they spend a lot of time doing video analysis, and I think it's like you could say a player that's full time and a player that's part time. What's the difference is going to be every time a full time team comes up against a part time team? They've got all the conditions there to do better, really. But no, I think there are some very good referees in Scotland, and there obviously is a lot of attention that's placed on them, and they're making crucial decisions. So I think we've got to try and help them, and I guess at governance level, try and help them as much as possible, put the structures in place that they can do their job better, because obviously these decisions have a big impact.
You mentioned the controversies in recent weeks with referees, to badger on about it, but since you've been up here, have you seen a decline in the standards of refereeing, would you say?
No. What, since we've been here?
Yeah, since you've been here, in the last few seasons, there seems more controversies recently than the last couple of seasons.
No, I wouldn't say I've seen a decline in the refereeing at all. No, I think there's a lot of spotlight on the decisions, and obviously in focus this weekend is a lot of penalties given in the one game and stuff like that, which brings it into focus even more. But I wouldn't say there's been a decline at all.
Chris, can I just get clarity on who's definitely out for tomorrow? Tierney definitely out.
How long you got?
Tierney's definitely out. Forrest definitely out.
Yeah. Okay, so get the kind of newish injuries you mean. So Tierney obviously is out, Forrest is out. Edouard looks doubtful from the weekend. Again, Lustig, we'll see how he is. Dedrick's training, but again, we've got to, as I said earlier, we've got to see how he reacts to his first training with the group. Olivier's been out for a little bit longer, so I doubt he would be looking to feature. Ralston's obviously still out injured. Rogic is out injured. Obviously you've got Aboué and Arzani and that are out. Benkovic is still out. So there's a few. But no, we've got, as I said earlier, we've got a lot of players still, and good players at that, so we'll be okay.
Appreciate it.